Mike Oba. Um, Sherilyn, how you doing? Yeah, what a sweetheart. Um, the Ophiuchus is in the wrong section of space. You're going to want to look under the hind legs of Leo. Definitely. That's where the anomaly is coming from. Yes, it's dynamic situation out there. There's more than one heavy mass object or black star. There's more than one of them. There's at least three that I know of, but it's going to be the one that's creating the. Yes, there is definitely something in the Leo constellation under the hind legs. 0.024, transitioning towards Virgo 5.5 days every 188. I guarantee it's there, but you can't see it. But every other indication says that it's there. That's the reason you have three Earth axis shifts on the 188-day cycle since 2004. Sumatra, Chile, and Fukushima with those events on the 188-day cycle. That's telling me there's something definitely out there. Whenever the magnetosphere turned around March 12th and 13th, it did it whenever the Earth was between the Sun and Leo. If you look at the news, if you subscribe to my newsletter, then volume number 9, Michael Owens, he's now deceased. I'm calling him deceased anyway, but he reported that the asteroids you're talking about were coming out of the Leo constellation. That's where they were falling out of orbit. And the reason would be because of subatomic particles being released from an inbound dark star. That's the most likely hypothesis because you have to explain the magnetics. Now, the magnetic pole migration that's happening right now is being caused by the external effect of an inbound star. I can go on and on and on and on. There's 25 different reasons from all the sinkholes that are happening everywhere. This is being, you're in a 2012 movie, it's just happening in slow motion. But that's what's happening. Lettered agencies ran the elenin psyop. They encoded information in the orbit diagram. That's part of what I'm using to create my timelines. And right now, the next warning is May the 17th, 2013 on a crossing event. That's apparently what the remote viewers see. And what there was a researcher named Truth Forever. He always insisted it was going to be a crossing event. And that's what Nighthawk's sources said just before they, guess what, they're dead too, like Michael Owens. There's something going on, and that's the wrong section of space. The other section of space we'll look at is the Orion constellation. That's the Skyview object that's coming out of Orion, even though when I was in Astro Patriots group, he said it was coming out of Leo. Then he later came back at Skyview and said, well, he was lying. It was actually coming from Aquarius, but he showed me the pictures in February, and you can't see Aquarius at that time of space, so I knew he was lying to me. Then, well, I had already found another astronomer that he sees the same object, multiple Jupiter masses, has 4 orbitals, 3 prograders, 1 retrograder. The retrograder's blue. Very familiar with that. Envy's seen it before too, and Ricky Dog, some of the members that have been here for a long time, they know what I'm talking about. But you know, there is an enigma here in the well, in the investigation. Something I haven't revealed to you guys. That from that little mini solar system that it's out there beyond Neptune right now, coming from the coming from the Orion constellation. But that object has a red orbital that has a squirrely orbit on the end. That's an anomaly that's, well, kind of rare. And whenever Crew 4T gave his explanation of what he saw coming out of the Leo constellation, he described the same orbital with a screw-like orbit. The chances of those two having this, both being red and both having the screw-like orbit are, well, hundreds of thousands to 1, which makes me think that actually Crew 4T's testimony was corrupted all along by what he heard from Astro Patriot coming out of Orion. I thought that all along. I haven't said anything about it, but that's what I do, is listen to what everybody says and take it back and see where it fits and what doesn't fit. And that's what never fitted. Whenever you're onto investigation, you don't want to say anything because it disrupts disinformation programs that are in your environment, and you don't want to do that. Whenever it's like discovering that there's a night stalker inside, that there's a thief inside your house at night. Now, as long as he's under the cloak of security, then he continues to operate. Whenever you shine the light on him, he freezes. So, whenever you remember that I did 5-year investigation on 9/11, I work with operatives every day. But you have to be cool about it. You have to know what you're doing and play the game properly. That's what was going on with elenin. If you think about it, elenin is 9/11 backwards. The perihelion date of elenin is was 9/11 every single day of the timeline we checked. Those of us who were running the investigation. There's a lot of anomalies with elenin. For one, it was traveling 62,500 miles an hour when it was 2 astronomical units to 1 from the sun, and that's impossible for a Kuiper Belt object. It's impossible. Lovejoy was going 1,300,000 because when it falls from the Kuiper Belt, it falls from beyond Neptune, beyond 30 astronomical units, and when it doubles speed, you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour pretty fast. It's impossible for 62,000 miles per hour. That's slower than Earth speed for a Kuiper Belt object. This is supposed to be a hyperbolic comet. In other words, it makes a giant U. It comes once and never comes back. The conditions that it was discovered in with an 18-inch reflector telescope from a remote control observatory from a guy, an amateur, that's a giant pig. All you do is just open it up and catch light. And he got it confirmed in 3 days. And he got it named after him. So I just came off the 9/11 investigation, keywording that documentation whenever this disinformation program started with the discovery of elenin. That's the reason I'm on this research right now. And I'm going to find out what the truth is, but it's very difficult. There's so much disinformation out there. But I can assure you that Ophiuchus is not the place to look. The place you want to look is in the area of space around Leo. Guarantee you. Earth axis shifts whenever the Earth is over there. The magnetosphere flipped around. Do you realize the magnetosphere of our planet flipped around? The bow shock faced Leo for 28 hours. Do you guys know what that means? It's impossible what happened. There is no historical precedent for it. None. I don't care what anybody says. It's never happened before, according to the experts that I'm talking to. Now, if you have a historical precedent for the magnetosphere turning and facing a different quadrant of space besides the sun for 28-hour duration, I want to hear about it. But I don't think you have one. The reason that it happened is because this mini solar system is coming in as electromagnetic arms. They're spiraling. They're spiraling opposite of what they should be, coming from the southern hemisphere. But anyway, there's lots of reasons to believe there's something coming, and it's coming from the Leo constellation, not on that the other side of space over there. At least that's my view about it. That's why 9/26 was an important date, and everybody was warning about it because that is a date where an object coming out of Leo would reach perihelion, because that's on the opposite side of the sun from Leo constellation. So anyway, that's my view on it. And sorry I've been away so much, but there are a lot of things that are happening right now. Building Dr. Don's house, that's just about dried in. Then I'm going to be able to fulfill some other obligations. That things are just really, really busy right now. There's something that I want to report to you, then I'll turn over the mic. I had a problem that I didn't realize. I had a pinched nerve in my back, and it pinched nerves that were feeding arteries to my right side that was actually becoming smaller. And Dr. Don, telling you, Dr. Don is a brilliant man. He's a psychiatrist. He's a practicing MD. He's owned fitness centers. He uses holistic medicine, herbs, and all kinds. The guy's a brilliant man. And he diagnosed me and figured it out. And then the cavern owner just happens to be one of those guys that, like a chiropractor. He's got a table and everything. He put my nose down in this thing, and he worked on me, and he popped my back. And whenever he did, it released that nerve. My appetite hasn't been the same since I developed that condition. And my arm was feeling immobile. But now, after he popped my back, I'm not 100% by any stretch, but I can feel the strength coming back, and I'm kind of excited about it. I like that. Okay, open mic.